January 22nd. Along with Willie and me, we have the co-host of our fourth hour, Jonathan Lemire. He's a contributing writer at The Atlantic, covering the White House and national politics. U.S. special correspondent for BBC News, Katty Kay, joins us. And the host of Way Too Early, Ali Vitale. Joe is off this morning. Let's dive right in. President Trump yesterday defended the pardons he issued to roughly 1,500 January 6th rioters. More than 400 of the pardons were for people who were convicted of assaulting police officers. NBC's Peter Alexander repeatedly pressed the president on the issue.
You would agree that it's never acceptable to assault a police officer?
Sure.
So then if I can, among those you pardoned, DJ Rodriguez, he drove a stun gun into the neck of a D.C. police officer who was abducted by the mob that day. He later confessed on video to the FBI and pleaded guilty for his crimes. Why does he deserve a pardon?
Well, I don't know. Was it a pardon? Because we're looking at commutes and we're looking at pardons. Okay, well, we'll take a look at everything. But I can say this. Murderers today are not even charged. You have murderers that aren't charged all over. You take a look at what's gone on in Philadelphia, take a look at what's gone on in L.A., where people murder people and they don't get charged. These people have already served years in prison, and they've served them viciously. It's a disgusting prison. It's been horrible. It's inhumane. It's been a terrible, terrible thing.
Mr. President, you're a president who has long said that you back the blue, but aren't you sending a message that assaulting officers is okay with these pardons?
No, the opposite. In fact,
How is it the opposite?
I'm going to be letting two officers from Washington Police, D.C., I believe they're from D.C., but I just approved it. They were arrested, put in jail for 5 years because they went after an illegal, and I guess something happened where something went wrong. And they arrested the two officers and put them in jail for going after a criminal, a rough criminal, by the way. And I'm actually releasing. No, I am the friend of police, more than any president that's ever been in this office.
So a fact check on the president's statement about the D.C. officers. He said he intends to pardon. They were not chasing an immigrant who was in the U.S. illegally. Back in October of 2020, the officers were in an unmarked car when they chased a man named Carone Hilton Brown, who was on a moped. Hilton Brown crashed the moped and died during the pursuit that authorities said violated police policy and was illegally reckless. Authorities also said both officers later lied about the incident to forestall a potential federal civil rights investigation. Despite their convictions, both officers were allowed to go free pending the outcome of their appeals, which are still ongoing. So there's that. And Willie, we're learning more also about who were released.
Yeah, and a thin defense, it should be pointed out, by President Trump of what he did under questioning from Peter Alexander. Didn't know if he'd commuted or pardoned, and then, as you said, had some bad information in his defense there. 211 inmates, though, in federal custody for their January 6th convictions were freed yesterday morning. Video taken by NBC News shows some of the rioters leaving a prison in Orlando. They signed a flag. They say they